Good evening all.
Evening.
So in today's video we are going to bring you along and show you a typical gala night. P&O call it celebration night.
Yep.
And this is on board the P&O Arvia.
Yes.
And we're just going to show you where there is to eat, what entertainment there is, because depending on how busy your ship is, it's not as simple as just rocking up to these places.
Not at
there
all.
are things in place to obviously plan the night out,
Yes.
hence we've wrote lots of notes there.
Yeah, so we will go through these as we go through the video for certain things.
Yes.
But we will quickly mention, which is very important, dress code. So tonight is black tie. That's what the B&O want you to wear, is black tie. So if you want to wear black tie, you can eat in the main dining room, the Epicurean, which is the paid for one.
This is where you must wear black
Yes.
tie in. Yeah.
Yes. The Crow's Nest, which is a bar, they don't do food. I'm surprised they added that one in. And then the chef's table, which is basically, we think, the same as the main dining room food, but it's served in the beach house, which is in the buffet. So tonight you can't book the beach house. It's the chef's table, which is the beach house location in the back of the buffet.
But we're going to explain about how to book all this throughout the night.
And then normal clothes, if you don't want to wear a tie and a suit, you just want to wear maybe a shirt and some nice trousers, something like that, you can eat everywhere else that isn't the main dining room, the Epicurean, the chef's table and the buffet, and you can't go in the Crow's Nest.
Yes.
So you can eat in Diner 6, Olive Grove, the buffet, the Keys, all them other places, and all the other bars you can go in normal clothes.
Yes. Another thing to add as well, so the P&O Arvia, on a 2-week cruise, you only get 2 gala evenings.
Yes.
So not everybody likes to dress up for gala evening.
Nope.
And if you don't, you have got other options other than the buffet on this ship, which I think is really good.
Yes, they aren't really penalising you as much for not putting a shirt and tie on.
No, so here's a couple of options for you. The Keys, which is the place where you normally get your fish and chips from, your Yorkshire pudding thing on the ship. Now, on a gala evening, they do a special thing at the Keys, and tonight it is tandoori night, so we put some special food on because it's gala evening again, so you can go have some nicer food and you don't have to dress up for that. And, which I think is a really, really good thing on this ship, is the Olive Grove, which is a included restaurant on the ship, so you can go normally anyway. But on gala evening, they do a special menu catered for the gala evening, for the celebration night, sorry. And again, you don't have to dress up. So I think that's a nice touch where you can have still have the posh food in some places, but not have to dress up if you don't want to.
We'll put a picture on now of that menu. It's if you've been to the Olive Grove or you've seen the menu for the Olive Grove, it's a completely new menu. So it looks really good. We're hoping to try and do this one on the second gala evening.
Yes.
Maybe.
So we're eating in the main dining room tonight, so we're going to head there now.
Yeah.
We better go.
Because we've got a time and we'll explain stuff like that in a minute. We are running late.
We need to go quick, but once we are sat down at the table, I'll explain the procedure that we had to go through. The process, sorry, procedure? Not an operation. The process we had to go through to have a table in the restaurant tonight.
So I better put my jacket on and we better go. So we'll see you in the main dining room.
We're seated now in the restaurant. We have booked the Meridian restaurant, and I'll just tell you how we did that now. Before you come on your cruise, about a couple of weeks before, you can log on to your My P&O and you could literally book the restaurant for every night of your cruise if you wanted. Now, you can only book if you don't mind eating between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. I just made my notes here, so I'm just reading off here. So you can only pre-book if you want to eat between them times. If you want to eat after then, you can't book anything. And that applies also when you're on the cruise itself. So it works like before you come on the cruise, you can only book if there's space for a 5:30, between 5:30 and 6 o'clock sitting. So anything other than that, you cannot book before or during your cruise at all. Before we came on the ship, there was, on the My P&O, there was a itinerary page, and I think you could click on each day and it told you what the dress code was, and that's how I found out that tonight was gala evening, because it came up with dress code black tie, so I just assumed that was gala evening. So that's why we booked our table tonight before we come on the cruise. We've only done it for the gala evening, not any other night on the ship. Now, If you don't do that before you come, so you make no booking, and when you're on the ship you don't want to book for a specific time, or this early should I say, then your only other options are to join a virtual queue. Now you can only do that from 6:30 p.m. So that's what time you can join the virtual queue from, not a minute before that, only 6:30 p.m. And then your only other option is to come to the restaurant and join a non-virtual...
A physical queue.
A physical queue, yeah, that's the word, yeah. So if you don't join the virtual queue, you have to come down and join the physical queue. And obviously, it did look just like they were prioritising those with obviously, like us, that booked a table first. And I'm not sure if they then prioritise those on a virtual queue or the physical queue, so you might have a little bit of a wait. We have seen people walking around with buzzers in their hands where they've had to take that and come back. So that is basically the booking procedure for every night on the ship, but obviously specifically gala evening. We booked it beforehand just because we were worried about, with the Arvia only having 2 main dining rooms, filling up quite quickly, and we wanted to eat early on this night. So that's why.
Right, okay, so here's me in my jacket. This is the only time you are going to see me in this video in my jacket because it's red hot. We are, like I say, on a Mediterranean cruise. I wish they turned the air conditioning up because it's roasting. Everybody else is in there. I've got a waistcoat on, so I think I'll be alright. Everybody else seems to be in a waistcoat, so that's better. Please turn this air conditioning up, P&O. The menu has arrived. Now, we did the Britannia, was it about 2 months ago now, Stace? And it's pretty much, well, I don't mean pretty much, it's exactly the same menu, I believe. So, if you've done another P&O cruise and you weren't much for the menu, or you've recently done one and you want something different, maybe look at other options. Because the portions are never the biggest, are they really? So we might go up the quays and have a little bit of tandoori chicken after.
Maybe.
Even though Stacey did order a portion of fries.
So they've come round with the bread. Makes us happy, eh? Especially me. You are. Kev's just saving it on his phone now so that we can put it on the screen and show you. But he is looking, and the chef's table is slightly different. It has got a couple of different things on there.
Yeah, the menu's not as big as it is in here, but it is a little bit different. So when you're on the ship, you can go on the My P&O holiday website, their app kind of thing, and normally you can look at menus. And I've got it for the chef's table, but it won't come up with tonight's menu in here. So I can't put it side by side at the moment, but there is slight differences, so kind of you might be able to check them out to see which one you'd prefer to do. Right, so they've just come along with the pre-appetizer, the amuse-bouche. It's like a little gazpacho. The bread won't dip in the soup. You can't have soup without bread. I think you meant drink it like a little sipping. It's got gin in, so it's a bit like... Okay, so the starters have arrived. I went for the... I forgot what I had already. I had the crab and scallop ceviche. And then Stacey's had...
So I've gone for the apricot quinoa and walnut salad. Now I had this on the Britannia and it was very nice. I didn't think the portion was this big when I had it before.
I don't think it was it?
Quite, yeah, so it's quite a decent sized portion, but I enjoyed it on there, so I'm sure I will again.
They're trying to fill you up before you eat all the good meats and stuff.
Because I've ordered lobster, yeah, for the main, so I bet they think fill her up on this and we haven't got to give her as much lobster.
Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, we don't have to give them as much of a bigger portion of the expensive meats.
Expensive stuff.
Yeah, meats and fishes.
So mine is nice, like I said, I have had mine before on another P&O ship, but is this, you haven't had this before, have you, Kev?
No, the crab's nice enough. It's got like chunks of red onion and tomato in it. The scallop ceviche somehow is a little bit rubbery. Don't know how they've managed that with ceviche, because it's meant to be raw fish cured in lemon juice, which I can taste the lemon, but don't know how they've done that anyway. Oh, is this the captain?
Well, a very good evening, everyone. This is your Captain Aubrey.
Now, just to let you know, this is the only time you will see or hear from the captain. He doesn't come out and do a speech or anything like that, so this is the most you will hear on him.
I was going to say, we've only ever done MSC and a Princess cruise, and on their formal night, gala evening, the captain came out and made a speech, and he doesn't do it on P&O. I believe he did years ago. Maybe it's something they've changed recently in the past few years. Let us know in the comments below. So the captain's just said that on celebration night he likes to announce the passenger that spent the most time on board a P&O cruise ship, and whoever it was has spent 1,330 nights on board a P&O cruise ship, which he said was like 3.5 years. Wow. So just be aware as well that with the Arvia only having the 2 main dining rooms, because obviously you've got your American diner and the Olive Grove, because if you've been on the Iona, which is the sister ship, you know that they've got 4 main dining rooms. So we've tried to add something a little bit different, which I think is great. But like tonight on gala evening, because more people want to eat in here because it is the celebration night, sorry, I keep saying gala evening, celebration night. More people want to eat in the main dining room. So the staff, you can tell, they're working very, very hard, but they are under pressure a little bit, and the service is just a little bit slow. Like our starters, the plates from the starters were sitting here for about 15 minutes before we take them away, and you can see that they're working hard, but just bearing that in mind, that's all. So I've had the lobster and king prawn falute. I recognised it, and I said to Kev, have I had that before on another P&O ship? But Kev said, no, you've had it, haven't you? I haven't had it before.
I had it on the Britannia last time.
Yeah, I thought I recognised
it. Yeah, so it's like king prawns and lobster and puff pastry, so Stacey already likes it.
Now, yeah, because it's got the puff pastry on. Now that's the lobster. So it is very teeny weeny, but I suppose you could ask them for maybe a couple more pieces on there. I'm sure they do.
Or just ask them for another plate of it. You can have as many plates as you want of this. We do say this in the video, but if you're new, you might not know.
As long as you eat it and don't waste it.
Exactly. And then I had the Valentina corn-fed chicken, he says, with a quail pistachio and truffle mousseline. And the first thing Stace said was, you've got crisps.
So there is 3 quite juicy prawns on there. I always have to check see if they cut the tails off. I think they have, yeah.
Stacey's got a thing about prawn tails.
They are nice, they cook nice and they're tasty. Let me try a bit of the lobster.
That's one thing we will always say about P&O, that they cook their seafood very well.
Apart from your starter where you said it was rubbery.
No, that technically wasn't cooked, it was ceviche, but I know what
you mean, yeah. In general, we've had a lot of fish on board P&O ships, and it has been actually really, really nice. It is nice, just we're doing a bit more of it.
So mine comes with some like carrots and some courgettes, a bit of asparagus, and it says it comes with a side de jus, which is what sold it kind of for me. Just, I don't know why, I fancied a bit of cider gravy, in other words. So the chicken's very nice. I don't know where the quail mousseline is, because it should be in there somewhere, but it just gets blended in. But still, it's very tasty, and the crisps have lost their crunch because they've got a bit soggy.
Now they did, like I say, we asked for some fries, and they've brought, it's not officially on the menu, but if you want a portion, they will bring you some. And they've brought us chunky chips, so even better, I think.
You can have chunky chips and I'll have chunky carrots.
So desserts are here now. I've had the apple tart tatin. Now, I haven't had this before, but Kev has, so he assured me that it's nice. But then I've had what Kev's had before, and that's nice.
Yeah, I've had the pistachio and orange gâteau opera, but then I also had some mango sorbet to go with it, because I am a sucker for a mango sorbet. But like I say, I've had that. They said this. We've had the other things on the menu as well, so it does need switching up now and again, this P&O gala evening. Marco Pierre White needs to do a little bit extra menu work for his money.
Well, just a suggestion as well, so mine came with vanilla ice cream, but some desserts don't, like Kev's, and I always suggest just asking for, especially with like a chocolate cake or something, asking for ice cream on the side, otherwise, unless it says it won't come with it.
Yeah, because I've just tried this now, and it is a bit over chocolatey. It needs some like saucy component to go with it to make it that bit nicer.
We've learnt that the hard way in the past before, so there you go. Right, so we're all finished up now in the main dining room. It was a lovely meal, but again, if you've cruised with P&O before, you're looking at exactly the same menu that you've probably had before. but nevertheless he was very nice. So it is getting very, very busy in here now and quite rowdy. But we're going to go and see, well, we know what, we've kind of planned tonight's entertainment out, but as we go outside we'll explain to you about that as well, because again, it's not just as simple as just turning up to watch a show, so we'll explain that when we go out.
Right, so we're just going to talk through the entertainment now, kind of what needs booking, what doesn't need booking, what you can kind of walk up to, those kind of things. Some of this, well, pretty much all of this applies for every night, but some of it is specifically more important for gala night because some of this books out really quickly. So we'll start with the Headliners Theatre. So tonight is Festival. It's their in-house entertainment kind of big show production. We weren't bothered about this, it's not our kind of thing, but I think before we got on the ship, the first two shows had sold out, booked up. I think Stacey said there's maybe a 10:45 show that has still got availability.
So yeah, the Headliners Theatre is the only entertainment you can book before you come on the ship. And like I said, 2 weeks before, this had already started to fill out for gala evening.
Now there's also the 710 Club. You can't pre-book this. This is only bookable once on board via your app, and this is it's a little intimate session area with a little band or an individual on. There's 4 shows of this a night. I think it's something like 7, 8:30, could be 10:45-ish, and then at 12:15. A lot of these shows are booked out during the week, so you know, if you like the sound of one, try and get on that pretty quick.
Well, we're on it for 2 weeks, and even the second week is full on a lot of nights.
Exactly, so try and get this booked the first day you come on, especially for gala night. And then there is other entertainment on board. There's a singer in the atrium, there's a singer in the Sky Dome.
Check all of that in your Horizon magazine,
Yes,
because that'll tell you on there. It doesn't tell you any of this on the app.
Nope.
All it tells you on the app is the 710 Club and the Headliners Theatre. Everything else is in your Horizon magazine.
Yes, Horizon magazine tells you time and locations. So yeah, that's how the entertainment kind of works, and what you're better off doing, especially for a gala night, especially when the ship is very busy. Now, talking about the entertainment, we couldn't get a reservation for the 710 Club tonight, apart from 12:15, and we didn't really fancy waiting up for that one. So we thought on a whim, we'll go and try the 7 o'clock show, and luckily there was some seats available. Now, that might have been because of this virtual queue. People might have missed their show they reserved because they were still in the dining room or couldn't get a table. So there is a possibility that you could walk up. We walked up literally at 5 minutes before the show started. He said, yeah, I've got a couple of seats available, so we were lucky. Now, we will put a few clips on now because we really enjoyed it in there, so here's what it was. So that was the 710 Club.
me and Kev, we really love it in there. We've been on many other nights. So I'm really glad you managed to able to squeeze us in. So like Kev said, always go and ask and just double check if it does say it's full, because we've loved going in there. And the guys that were playing Just, we've watched them before on other nights, and if you know your music well, you'll see there was a bass there that nobody was playing, and they did say at the beginning that the bassist wasn't very well, so I think they put on a great show considering. But yeah, absolutely love it in there. Right, so as we said at the beginning of the video, there are food options for those of you that don't want to dress up and participate really in the celebration night, and one of those that we mentioned was the keys. So that's where we've come up to now, because it is a tandoori night and they've put a special menu. I think it's replacing where in the daytime they normally, well, on every other night they do Yorkshire, like a giant Yorkshire pudding.
Like the Sunday roast area, the Yorkshire pudding bit.
Yeah, so that's gone for tonight on celebration night, and we've done the tandoori night. So let's go and have a look at that.
But I mean the backup was on the way. There is I don't know.
I know we may have eaten in the main dining room, but they were small portions for us anyway. So I'm glad they've done this now, because it's a nice touch to switch it up a little bit. And there's the tandoori chicken. Look at that, massive pieces as well. They've got other stuff. I'll just read the little menu I'll put on the screen. They've got like nice vegetable samosas, some tandoori shrimp puffs which look nice as well, a few different curries, some vegetarian options as well, and then they've got these galoob jamoon, like little syrupy cake balls they look like, and then they've got like naan breads and all that kind of stuff as well. But honestly, this tandoori chicken smells absolutely delicious. It's not spicy, so don't worry about that. It's just got enough flavour to make it a bit tasty, so it's not like blowing your head off, but it's nice.
This is the inside of the vegetable samosa. It's like it feels like a fresh made one, like they've made it here, because all the veg on it isn't mushy and it's all like the potatoes have still got bite to them and stuff. It could do, for me personally, it could do with a little bit more spice, but that's my personal preference.
They were just laughing because I just said to Kev, I can't believe we've just in the main dining room and now we've come here eating this.
Can I just point out that was an hour ago, so
yeah, an hour ago.
Hour and a half ago.
You see, all this just for show you lot that don't want to dress up, another food option. Can't you just dress up and then you can just go to the main dining room? We've already shown you that. No, I'm not. I'm glad there's those of you that don't like dressing up, because then we get to show you this.
Right, just a heads up, if you are not a massive fan of very sweet sweets, then don't try the little puddings, because it's soaked all the way in with like a really sugary syrup. So if you like sweets, you'll like this. If you're not much for them, maybe give these a pass and get some more chicken.
Right, so we just ran back the cabin now before we go to the Sky Dome.
You're lying there, Kev, because we didn't run after all that food.
No,
we had a stroll back to the cabin.
We wobbled and rolled
yes.
back to the cabin. Now, I did say I was just going to drop my jacket off, because it's still pretty warm and there's no dress code anymore where we're going, because we won't be going to the Crow's Nest, and we're definitely not going back to the main dining room. So I got changed a little bit. Does this look alright?
Maybe not. Maybe not the Pikachu socks, Kev. Take them off. I'll give me scene with you wearing them. Leave the shorts on, change the socks.
Oh, we forgot to mention, they leave you one of these in your cabin. You get either a glass of Prosecco, or, well, it says a glass of fizz, we're guessing it's Prosecco, or an elderflower press. So we got one of those each. We're just going to go get them now. It says you can get them from any bar, so we're going to try the one in the Sky Dome before we watch the show.
Making my dreams come true. One song and he smiles, he's taking my heart, and I give you the rest of it too. You're the perfect man for me. Love you, I do. I love you. I have a friend quite like this, so good by myself. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching that
we lasted a few songs in the Sky Dome. It's just not really our kind of thing.
No, not really. But yeah, we've just come outside, have a quick little walk around because it's a nice night, and surprised how quiet it is everywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, because obviously it's gala evening and everyone's indoors enjoying the entertainment, this is the quietest I've seen it, and it's such a lovely warm evening as well. Still nice and light, and yeah, it's so quiet out here. So we just said we're going to go like for a nice little walk. I want to go to the back of the ship and have a look at the views from there, and then I won't go inside after because there's some Spanish show on in the atrium.
You want to do this and you want to do that.
You want to see it as well. There's some like Spanish music in the atrium that Kev, I want to see.
I'm not saying nothing anymore. And we've just come down to the Amber Lounge now to try and catch that Spanish music, and the two acrobat just come out, so we'll try and get a bit of this now.
Right, so how good was that Spanish music just?
I could listen to that all day.
His fingers were like magic on that guitar, and then her feet, did you look at her feet? He gave me 8 blisters just watching her.
She was
You're
sweating.
Like, yeah.
She was sweating, that poor girl.
It was really nice, and it was nice to watch something. Obviously, a lot of this cruisers were travelling around Spain, and it's just nice to watch something of some culture.
Yeah. It's
our kind of thing.
Yeah. We always like watching this kind of stuff. Like you say, we're coming to Spain.
Yeah.
To see some Spanish culture, shall we say?
One bar was playing Agadoo earlier on, and that's not our thing. But that's a good thing about the ship, is there's loads, like a gala evening. There's loads of options, and that's where because we hope this video has helped you, and we showed options for those that want to take part and dress up, and there's also good food options and entertainment options for people that don't as well. So I think it's a nice mix of a nice night, and we hope this video's been useful for you.
Exactly, but it's getting dark now.
Yeah.
It's, as you can see, we're having to stand by a light outside. It's getting very dark, so we're going to leave it there. So as always, hit that subscribe button, leave us comments if you've got any questions about Gala Night or anything about that.
Yeah.
While you're down there, you might as well hit the like button. But I think we're going to get ready, call it tonight now.
Yeah, I think we will do. But
So,
like I say, this video was there to help you, and I hope it has. I hope we've gave you a lot of information to make the most of your celebration night on the Arvia.
Yeah, exactly. So as always, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Good night.